Hey, how's it going everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Vanilla Soup, and today we're going to be talking about the recently delayed Halo novel, Halo Outcasts. Now, I'm not seeing a lot of people talking about this, so I think it's kind of important that we cover it here because this is an exciting book. I think the context of this book is such a cool idea, and I am looking forward to it so much. And despite how we may feel about Halo Infinite or the Halo series on Paramount, Halo books consistently are bangers. I just love everything that comes out of these authors and the teams that they have working on these novels. They always treat us right. But without further ado, let's just jump right into it. Okay, so a little bit of catch up. If you're not familiar with Halo Outcasts and what it's about, it takes place in 2559. Formerly one of the Covenant's greatest and most fearsome warriors, Arbiter is now allied with his former human enemies while deeply entrenched in leading the Sangheili people to a new era of unification. But his aspirations are under constant threat, whether by the dangerous, warring factions of a rival Sangheili keeps or the relentless shadow of oppression spread by the renegade artificial intelligence Cortana. Alright, so right away we do know that this takes place after the events of Halo 5, with the artificial intelligence Cortana being named and her relentless shadow of oppression, but it also takes place before Halo Infinite. This takes place in 2559. If you recall, the Halo Infinite events take place in 2560. Alright, so let's continue on with the description. An opportunity to break Cortana's chains has suddenly presented itself through the rumored existence of an ancient artifact located on the hostile world of Netherop. Spartan Olympia Vale, trained with the skills to live and thrive among the Sangheili, also recognizes this alien prize as an essential means to aid humanity in reaching the same goal of freedom, but behind the scenes, both Vadam and Vale are being manipulated by a mysterious figure with their own agenda. And to make matters worse, all involved are unknowingly placing themselves at perilous odds with forces beyond their comprehension. Okay, so right away I just want to talk about how much I love this idea that we're getting to catch up with the Arbiter. I don't want to understate how cool it is that we're going to have a continuation of Vale, which is one of, I think, the most interesting Spartans introduced in Halo 5. I love her story. I love the fact that she has this background with the Sangheili, and I love now that they're putting her with her background with Thel and getting the Arbiter and Vale to interact with each other. That is going to be so cool. I am just so over the moon with how excited I am with this book. And for those of you who are wondering, this book is written by Troy Denning, and this is actually where this delay comes from, where he kind of breaks the news to us. As he says on Twitter, some Halo Outcast news. As some of you may have noticed already, we're delaying my next Halo book. And he goes on to express that he's actually having some health issues, and that it started to act up earlier than expected, and he needs to have open heart surgery. And then he talks about how he's very enthused about the story and how cool it is, because I think this guy, well, first of all, Troy Denning has wrote some of the best Halo books in recent memory, and man, this guy deserves all the praise of everything he's written, because his work is fantastic. But finishing it will have to wait until I've had the repair. The team at Gallery and 343 have been wonderful, and the operations sound scarier than it is, so you can be sure we'll get it finished when I'm recovered. Okay, so health problems are very concerning. We can't, this is out of his control, this is out of our control. These are things that just kind of happen. Unfortunate. I'm glad that it seems to be fixable, that it seems to be reined in here soon. He just has to have the repair, so that's really good. But I love how he says how, like, it is so cool. I don't think even he like tooted his own horn as much, even when he wrote Shadows of Reach, if memory serves, which is also a fantastic book, which you should read it. It's a really great prelude to Halo Infinite. You should just go read it. All right, so what's the new date? I actually found it on Audible. The Audible listing says it's now March 14th, 2023. So we're going to be waiting almost another year for this book, which is unfortunate because it was supposed to be delivered to us this fall holiday time frame. So that's kind of a bummer, and I'm not going to lie. But some other things I found out while we were looking through the Audible listing is that it's about a 10-hour audiobook. That is probably not final. That is probably an approximation, considering that he hasn't finished writing the book yet. I'm sure the first draft has been long done by now, but I'm sure that there's still edits that need to be made and maybe some context given here or there. I mean, I don't pretend to know everything that goes into writing a book, but I already have it pre-ordered, and I'm excited for it. I hope you guys are excited for it too, because if you love the Arbiter like me, I know you're going to have a fantastic time just diving into a world where we get to see Arbiter team up with another Spartan. Just the fact that we get to see Arbiter team up with a Spartan again, that's pretty cool. Even though it's not Master Chief, even though that it's happening in a book, which I know a lot of us would prefer it to happen in game, I'm still hopeful that's going to happen. I think there is so many opportunities for Halo Infinite to bring in the Arbiter still. There's so many things, and pardon me for getting off on the tangent here, but I do want to address it because I think this is a really good time to address it. I think the Halo Infinite story left at a point where I think there is going to be perfect opportunities for these things that we want to happen take place. And by that I mean the Swords of Helios coming in to Zeta Halo. I mean the Spirit of Fire coming in to the Zeta Halo. I think all these factions and all these groups and ships that we've been wanting to see again, and because the timeline and all the other expanded lore has kind of directed to the point that all roads converge at Zeta Halo, I think we're in for one epic story here on out. And I think that the story of Halo Infinite so far was more or less just like, let's get the ball rolling to where we want to take it. Let's kind of get it in the direction that it needs to go, because it is a 10-year plan for its story and its live service. I don't know if it's going to last 10 years, but let's talk about that another day. But regardless, we're going to have Halo Infinite DLC, story DLC, sometime down the line. And I just think the option for story DLC will be a great resurgence in lore fanatics and story players to just get engrossed in Halo Infinite again, because you introduce the Arbiter and Chief and these new characters that we love from Halo Infinite. I think we're having a recipe for success, if you ask me. So I think it's about time that after this book, maybe this book will take place and it'll kind of put Arbiter and Vale on the path to get back to Zeta Halo and to meet up with Chief, and maybe some Locke action. I know Locke isn't the most loved character, but I still like him. All right, that's it for me today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, and be sure, if you found this information helpful, or if you're excited for Halo Outcasts in any way, leave a like on the video. It sure does help a lot. And also, I want to thank my Patreon supporters, especially our ISO tier members, Joey Ferris and Mr. Pleb. You guys rock. Your continued support helps this channel run, so thank you so much. But even if you're just watching and liking the videos, it helps so much. So thank you guys from all around my heart. I appreciate it. But until next time, my friends, I'll see you online. Vanilla Soup out.